Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12.
News at 12.
In the local scene, the Albay Provincial Health Office has distributed 10,000 face masks to the Rural Health Unit of Bakakay to help protect residents affected by recent ashfall from Mayon volcano. The turnover was conducted as part of the provincial government's ongoing health response to reduce the risk of respiratory illnesses linked to the ashfall exposure. The protective masks will be distributed to affected residents, particularly children, senior citizens, and individuals with pre-existing respiratory conditions. Health officials said the immediate delivery of supplies reflects the provincial government of Albay's commitment to safeguarding public health during emergencies and disasters. The Provincial Health Office continues to work with local government units and partner agencies to ensure affected communities receive the health services, medical supplies, and assistance they need amid ongoing volcanic activity. In other story, the provincial government of Albay welcomed a study tour delegation from Episcopal College Verney of Belgium during a visit to the Albay capital on July 15. The delegation visit forms part of a benchmarking activity aimed at learning more about Albay's educational system and exploring the province's tourism programs and destination. Provincial Tourism Officer Dorothy F. Collier and Provincial Education Department Head Dr. Jeremy A. Cruz received the delegation on behalf of Governor Noel Irusal. The visit provided an opportunity to showcase Albay's educational initiatives and tourism attractions while promoting cultural and academic exchange. Provincial officials said the activity reflects continuing efforts to strengthen partnerships and foster international cooperation in education and tourism. In other news, tourism officers from across Albay gathered for the second quarter meeting of the Albay Tourism Officers Association to strengthen coordination on tourism programs and development initiatives in the province. The meeting was led by Provincial Tourism Officer Dorothy F. Collier and brought together representatives from local government units to discuss ongoing projects and share updates. Among the key topics tackled were cultural mapping activities, preparations for Tourism Week, the Albay Tourism Development Plan, tourism circuit submissions, and reports on tourism arrivals. Participants also discussed opportunities for closer collaboration with the Department of Tourism Region 5 in support of local tourism planning and development. The Provincial Tourism, Culture and Arts Office said the meeting reaffirmed the commitment of tourism stakeholders to promote sustainable tourism and further enhance tourism programs and services across Albay. In the national scene, the Senate Impeachment Court is looking at the 2012 impeachment trial of former Chief Justice Renato Corona as a possible guide in deciding whether to subpoena the tax records of Vice President Sara Duterte. Court spokesperson Reginald Tungol said the Bureau of Internal Revenue received a subpoena first during Corona's trial before seeking presidential approval to release the tax documents. He said this process helped protect the BIR from legal liability. The court has temporarily delayed its decision on the prosecution's request for Duterte's tax, bank, and anti-money laundering records to give senator judges more time to review the legal and privacy issues. The Senate Impeachment Court is expected to resume discussions on the subpoena request next week, while the defense may still challenge any documents or evidence presented during the trial. In other story, the Department of Social Welfare and Development has provided initial assistance to the family of 15-year-old boy who was fatally stabbed by another minor in Sampaloc, Manila. The DSWD gave the victim's family 10,000 pesos in financial assistance and 2 family food packs and said it will provide psychosocial support to the victim's 3 cousins who witnessed the incident. Police said the teen was walking home when a group of youths challenged him and his cousins to a fight. They refused and the group allegedly chased them, and the suspect stabbed the victim in the neck and was later declared dead at the hospital. The DSWD said it will continue to coordinate with the family and ensure that all legal procedures under the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act are followed in handling the case. In other news, the National Food Authority will buy fresh and wet palay at 21 pesos per kilogram nationwide to help Filipino farmers earn more during the upcoming wet harvest season. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tu Laurel Jr. said the higher buying price will help farmers cope with rising production costs, including the higher price of fuel, fertilizer, and other farm inputs. The NFA said the new buying price will allow farmers to earn an estimated 3 to 5 pesos profit per kilogram of palay, while also preparing to buy up to 925,000 metric tons of palay during the harvest season. The government will temporarily stop the unloading of imported rice in Iloilo from mid-September to the end of November to help protect local farmers from falling palay prices during the peak harvest period. And in the news outside the country, an Italian court is set to issue its verdict in the trial over the 2018 collapse of the Morandi Bridge in Genoa, which killed 43 people and shocked the country. A total of 57 defendants, including former highway company executives, engineers, and government officials, are accused of failing to properly maintain the bridge. Prosecutors said years of neglect caused the structure to collapse, while the defense argued the disaster was due to a design flaw. The bridge collapsed during a rainstorm on August 14, 2018, sending vehicles plunging to the ground, which happened during one of Italy's busiest holiday travel periods. Family members of the victims are expected to attend a court hearing, hoping the verdict will hold those responsible accountable for the tragedy. In other story, authorities in Spain have identified all 13 people who died in a deadly wildfire that struck a remote community in southern Spain last week. Most of the victims were foreign nationals, including 7 British citizens, 3 Belgians, 1 French citizen, 1 American, and 1 Spaniard. 8 of the victims were women and 5 were men. Officials said all persons who were earlier reported missing have now been accounted for after DNA tests confirmed the identities of the victims. The wildfire burned about 70 square kilometers of forest and farmland. Authorities said extreme heat, strong winds, and dry conditions continue to increase the risk of more wildfires across Spain. And finally, in the news outside the country, with reference to the Philippines, the Climate Change Commission and the government of Germany are strengthening their partnership to boost local climate action and biodiversity protection through the Transcend project. Government agencies, local government units, and development partners met in Manila to review the project's progress, align priorities, and improve coordination to help communities become more resilient to climate change. The project supports climate adaptation, biodiversity conservation, energy efficiency, sustainable transport, and good governance, while helping local governments align their development plans with national climate goals. During a climate meeting in Germany, Philippine and German officials also discussed expanding access to climate financing, improving monitoring systems, and advancing adaptation programs ahead of the next United Nations Climate Conference. And that's the news at 12, July 17, 2026. We'll be back next week for more news updates. Thanks to our news writers, LJ Lorejo and Ian Buitre. And on the technical side, Chad Bobis. Our Provincial Information Officer, OIC, Marty Gonzalez. And under the supervision of our Governor, Noel Irusal, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing. Albay in my heart.